What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Whiskey and Motorcycles. This week I'm going to be kind of doing some odds and ends on the bikes, working through some stuff. I'm going to actually be working on the Softail, but the battery is shot on my Sportster. The last couple days I've rode it to work. It was a hit or miss, and then the last day or two here, it's been just dead every time. I even put it on the trickle charger last night, and it's shot. So I went and got a new battery for it. I'm going to put that in there real quick first. But then, like I said, we're going to get the Softail on the lift, and I'm going to try to address that, hopefully some kind of, whatever that noise is up there, some kind of tube off or some kind of hose. Like I said, it's not really making it run different, but you can definitely hear it. And I had a guy listen to it that did some engine work on my bike, and he said that's what he thinks it is. So we'll see. I'm going to check it out, and hopefully it's something easy and simple, because I really want to start riding the bike again. Kind of miss riding it just around here, you know, but I just haven't been able to, because I don't really want to ride it the way it is in case it's not doing it any good. Also, I got the new brake rotor in last night. By the way, if anybody's wondering, if you watched the video from Monday, well, yesterday for me, or I mean Tuesday, the whiskey tasting video, that's the George Dickel rye. I hadn't had it in a while until I made that video, and I really liked it, so I'll pour a little bit tonight for the garage. So I ordered the brake disc. It just so happened to be, it's the same one as I ordered for the chopper, and when I clicked on it, they had options for front and rear and all that. I ordered front. What was neat with this is it came with brand new rotor bolts, and also came with brand new pads. Of course, I have a different caliper on this bike anyways, so the pads won't do me any good, but it was still like, I think $40 cheaper than what I paid for the chopper, and I got that stuff with it, because it ended up being from a different company. But the only thing I didn't like about it, and I'll show you, this is the old rotor, but it came with these inserts to make it work. So like I said, I ordered a front caliper, but technically it's a rear, and it just has these little inserts. Now I had kind of wondered about that when I had to take this off, and I found that issue, but I just kind of wanted one that was correct. So I got it. I was kind of bummed, but we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna try it, but since I have the inserts for it, instead of putting a new rotor on it, I'm just gonna use that new rotor for when I do my Softail rear brake, and I'm going to go ahead and keep running this front rotor that I already had on the bike. The pads are already set with this rotor and stuff, so we'll do that. But yeah, like I said, came with new bolts and stuff too, and those little inserts, so we'll give it a shot. I'm definitely going to be paying attention to it for a while and make sure it's not, you know, moving or anything, and it's staying good and tight. So anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and rip this battery out and do that real quick, and then we'll get that Softail on the lift and see where we get with it. Okay, so just real quick, if you've ever done a battery on a Sportster, you know it can be a bit of a pain in the ass because they're tight and the cables are short. They don't like to go in there. I hate doing battery on this bike. But let me show you on this old battery real quick. So these terminals like this, where you gotta have the little nut in there. What I did, instead of trying to hold a screwdriver or something in there, this may be something everybody knows already and I just figured it out for myself, but you know how they're really thin, you got a lot of room in there. Take two of them, especially since you get new ones with the batteries, and put them in there back to back. Was way easier. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and finish this up and I'll meet you back over when we get that Softail on the lift. Alright, so got everything moved around, Softail's on the lift. I did a quick little change. On the lift, I had these eye hooks coming out here for a long time, and as you can see, the tighter I'd pull them, it came up. So I put them up here for now. I really want to get some more hooks like this though, because I'm still worried if I really have to tighten this down. I mean, it's pretty tight now, but if I had to tighten it down more, or this will just slowly start pulling away, and I don't want that. So I'm going to eventually get some more hooks like that and put up here, probably, you know, like this way. Now this hole's drilled, but the way these hooks are back here, I just don't care for them because I like to do the forks up here. It's just a lot easier because of these wheel chocks and these Harbor Freight motorcycle lifts just aren't the best. A lot of people upgrade them, but I kind of like it because it's a couple bolts. I can remove it if I need to get out of my way for taking the front tire off, stuff like that. It works. It's easily adjustable and it holds it kind of just enough, but kind of helps keep me have one hand on the bike still while I'm doing the ratchet straps while I'm up by the forks. So that's kind of the way I like to do it when I initially at least put them on there, and then sometimes as I'm working on it I'll change them around depending on what I need to do. But anyways, I'm gonna go ahead and start working on this thing, pull the seat off and get the tank off and see what I find. Hopefully I find something very blatant and obvious, and we can put this thing back together and ride it, man. I'm ready to ride it again. I loved riding it on a long trip, but it's not quite the same as just getting to like bring it out every once in a while, because I ride the Sportster all the time. It's kind of my daily riding bike. I've told you guys that before. And it's a fun bike too. I mean, when I ride the blue bike all the time, like when I took it on the trip, I was excited to ride the Sportster when I got back. So it's kind of the nature of the beast. You ride one for a while and you got another one sitting there. You want to ride it, right? But yeah, I just want to be able to ride it out every once in a while, and don't want to just sit in the garage looking pretty all the time. So anyways, let's get to it. Okay, so as you can see, it's a little tore apart. Now, I told you guys I was going to take the tank off and really look throughout all this stuff. I have some stuff unplugged right now, and see if any of the hoses were off or what have you. I looked, I don't see much. Everything looked fine really, and I got to the point where I was just going to kind of take the whole throttle body off of the intake to both the heads, and maybe just kind of put new gaskets and replace a bunch of stuff, because I have it tore down and I had no idea. I couldn't figure anything out. And then I kind of sat down, took a minute, I was staring at it, and I was thinking, man, I feel like on kind of like a D-cell, sometimes I could hear just a slight tick in the front head. Wasn't quite sure if I was just hearing it, you know, trying to listen for stuff or not, you know, because obviously these Harleys make a lot of noise, but it didn't sound normal. It sounded off. So I was like, man, maybe the rockers, or I mean the push rods, need adjusted. I almost did it before I left for the trip, and I thought, nah, I'm not gonna mess with them right now. Everything's been fine, and so I never did. So, like I said, I got there, I sat there, was looking at it and thinking, and the more I thought about it, I was like, man, before I tear anything else apart, maybe I should just, you know, pull the tubes and kind of check, see what they look like, and adjust them. You know, why not? And in doing so, pulled it up, and I've never adjusted push rods before, so I don't know exactly how to do it, or I didn't. I've kind of researched now and kind of figured it out, the basics and stuff and how to do it. But the first one I pulled off was this front exhaust gasket, or the front exhaust tube, and I noticed I could move it, and like I said, me not knowing, that was kind of a red flag. And then I pulled off the intake and it didn't move. I said, okay, well, I'm going to pull off the backs, and they all moved, not up and down, but side to side. None of them move up and down, thankfully. And then I thought, well, 1 out of 3, maybe they're supposed to. So that's when I started looking into it. And sure enough, it's supposed to move. Obviously, I haven't jacked the bike up yet and spun the tire to see like if any tension's just built up weird to where it's doing that, but it shouldn't. Either way, so I'm gonna try to adjust them. I'm not gonna put that on video because, like I said, this is my first time. Like, this is me just troubleshooting my own bike. I'm just letting you guys join in, checking it out. So we have a cool video this week, and hopefully you guys get to see me fix the Softail. I don't know if it's exciting for you guys, but it's exciting for me. Obviously, you guys didn't really ever see a problem with it, but I did, and I really want to get it fixed. Like I said, I mean, it's no fun to have a bike sit in the corner of the garage, especially when you know something's wrong with it. If you know you can just hop on and ride it, it's not that big a deal. But so I'm gonna go ahead and get this rear tire off the lift, you know, lift it up, and start adjusting these push rods. And fingers crossed, that's the whole deal. I'm gonna have to let each one of these bleed down, so it'll take a little bit. So as I do that, I'll probably start putting the rest of the bike back together, just because, like I said, I really didn't find any issues. There's nothing really off. There's no like hoses or anything back here that would be off. It's all a lot of like plug and play stuff, all the fuel injection, whatnot. So I really don't think any of that is the issue. It wouldn't make sense to me if it was. So anyways, I'm gonna kind of work on this, and if anything pops up major or it's fixed or whatever, I'm gonna keep you guys updated, and I'll bring you back to see that. Alright guys, here's the moment of truth. Got the push rods all done. And get everything back together. Still hear it slightly. However, since I just did the push rods, you know, they say that up to like 20 plus miles afterwards you may get a little top end noise, so I may ride it a little bit, and then see if I can pick this sound up on the camera though. comes from like the front cylinder or in the middle here. I don't know, I'm gonna take it around the block and see what we got. Okay, so that didn't fix the issue, all that I did, but however, I do believe I actually figured out what the problem is now. When I was looking underneath there looked to be like a little bit of oil around one of the injectors, or you know, some kind of liquid, but it wasn't a whole lot, so I just kind of sprayed it and cleaned it off to come back to it later, you know, to see if that might be the issue. And I was really listening to it. I even took a screwdriver and kind of moved it around a little bit while it was running, and I could hear the sound difference of exactly the sound I was hearing. So I do believe it's the injector. So I'll probably try to get some new injectors and plug them in at some point. Hopefully I can try to finagle doing that without having to take the tank off, but we'll see. I don't know how easy that'll be or not, but that's the goal. So anyway, that's all I'm gonna do for this week, because I don't have the injectors now anyways, and it's back running somewhat now. I'm not gonna ride it too much like that. I am probably gonna ride it to work maybe tomorrow or something, just to make sure those push rods settle in right. About 20 miles or so, like I said. And yeah, until next week, thanks for joining. Like, subscribe, comment, and later.